President Barack Obama has called for an end to violence on the presidential campaign trail. He says candidates must help create a less hostile atmosphere.
We have heard vulgar and divisive rhetoric aimed at women and minorities, at Americans who don't look like us or pray like us or vote like we do. We've seen misguided attempts to shut down that speech, however offensive it may be. We live in a country where free speech is one of the most important rights that we hold. In response to those attempts, we've seen actual violence. And we've heard silence from too many of our leaders.
5 key U.S. states are holding contests in the Republican and Democratic nominating race for president. Republican front-runner Donald Trump is hoping to seal his lead with wins in the Florida and Ohio primaries, but these are home states for Senator Marco Rubio and Governor John Kasich. On the Democratic side, Senator Bernie Sanders is competing in 3 states with former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. Well, for more on this, let's cross to Peter Emerson in New York. He was a White House advisor during the Carter administration, is now a public policy specialist. Welcome to the program. How do you think Marco Rubio and John Kasich will do in Florida and Ohio?
I think John Kasich could very well win Ohio. The polls are showing him 3 to 5 points ahead. Polls mean absolutely nothing this year, so I only quote them to make mention of them. Rubio has a very, very uphill battle in Florida, so I'd be very surprised if he wins. But if he loses, he's not out of the race. I know that a number of pundits think he's likely to have to withdraw, but everything I'm hearing and seeing is that his donors are going to continue to fund him, and others want him to stay in the race in case something happens to Trump or to Cruz.
Can the Trump train be stopped? So many in his party have criticized his inflammatory rhetoric, which has sparked violence at his rallies. We saw Chicago rally completely cancelled. We've also heard from the president who said that the language needs to be toned down.
I don't think that Trump can be stopped. He's going to go to the convention either with enough delegates to secure the nomination or enough delegates to make it very difficult for the Republican Party to deny him the nomination. I completely agree with the president, but the reality is America today is angry, they're fearful, they're actually filled with terror and rage. And so Trump is more a vassal than he is someone flaming those passions. They're there. He is, of course, guilty of picking them up and giving them added voice. But overall, Americans are very, very tired and very angry about the course of this country.
Well, let's talk about the Democrats. They don't play winner take all, but that doesn't mean that this isn't a pivotal day for their presidential race, does it?
No, it's not, Asha. The reality is that Clinton probably has the nomination secure between the delegates already won and the superdelegates. Sanders is running quite far behind her. He could have an upset victory today. It wouldn't have a significant impact. But one of the major things that's not being reported here, and I'm giving to you right now, is the platform committee in Washington, in which the Clinton campaign is going to have to figure out how to allow some of the Sanders policies to be adopted in the platform. The platform is the document with which the presidential nominee and senators and congressmen will be running with it stapled to their chest. Allow some of the Sanders policies to be adopted, enough so that Sanders supporters stay with Secretary Clinton as the nominee, but not enough of those policies that would allow the Republicans to brand Clinton as a socialist, much less a communist.
Okay, Peter Emerson in New York, thanks very much for talking to us.